Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on the team next year? And if not, what is his future?
I have no idea. Look, I've broken this down before, and I'm going to do it again. Mm-hmm. The issue with dropping Jimmy Garoppolo next year, it's not a Jimmy Garoppolo issue. At this point, Jimmy Garoppolo is what he is. At his best, he's so-so. Problem is, you have a lot worse than so-so sitting on your bench. You're probably not going to have a top 10 pick. You're probably going to be picking realistically based on yesterday. Let's say you finish as an 8-18. You're going to be picking between 12 and 15.
Wait. You think this team's going 8-8?
Let's just say. Let's just
okay.
Let's just say guys come back. There's still enough talent. There's enough pride on this team.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yeah.
Right. And let's say that's the worst case scenario.
Sure.
For now, based on our preseason prognostications, let's say that's the worst case scenario. Well, are you really going to go into a season with an 8-8 team after you have the highest paid tight end? You have Nick Bosa. You're going to re-sign Trent Williams because Kyle loves the guy. Fred Warner is going to get paid like a top 2 to 3 middle linebacker in football. You're going to pay all these guys, and you're going to go into a season with Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard at quarterback. That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
Now,
it's not going to happen. Right. Now, they might go into this. No, hold on. The other option could be they lose the next 7 games because they're beat up and mentally beaten up, and they have a gauntlet coming up. They legitimately finish the season 5-11 and actually are in range to pick one of these guys who's coming out, because apparently there's like 3 or 4 this year that people like. I'm not into college football like that.
There's Kyle Trask. There's Trey Lance. There's obviously Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be the first pick, and there's Justin Fields.
Okay, so there's 4 guys, which means if the Niners go 5-11, theoretically they might be in position to take one of them.
Right, and that's the one option. And then the other option is you just cut Jimmy clean and hope you can land Matthew. Matt Ryan is totally unlikely, and I'm going to be honest with you. Matt Ryan is suffering in Atlanta right now with a lot of the same issues that the Niners have, minus Kyle. Their secondary has nobody. Everybody's hurt. Their offensive line is terrible. He gets hit every single play. He's just missing Kyle, and his receivers are a lot better than the ones that are here. So I don't think Matt Ryan is a solution. Look, you can go the Matthew Stafford route. I like Matthew Stafford a lot, but look, and he's so physically gifted. But if your team is going to retool and all these undrafted free agents that you have so much depth with, and you don't have that many draft picks, then you're not giving Matthew Stafford the 2019 roster. So Matthew Stafford might be playing significantly better than Jimmy, and your team might not be better than 2019.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, like, I would go with the young quarterback. I think in the NFL today, it's all about having the young mobile quarterback. That's the cheat code to winning. But also, I look at the Shanahans and Kyle and Mike, and think, they don't have the track record of developing young quarterbacks. I'm not saying they can't. They just haven't developed a Hall of Famer. They haven't done it.
We have no sample size of Kyle Shanahan's ability to draft quarterback.
Scout
we have no
develop.
Right.
No.
And we have no sample size of his ability to develop.
Well, we have some sample size. It's small, but we got CJ Beathard in that sample. So what I'm saying is, knowing Mike's history and Kyle's history, I think Mike did win 2 Super Bowls, 3, including his time with the Niners. And I think Kyle theoretically could win 1 too, although God, he has some self-destructive tendencies. But I think they're at their best if what they do, they go to an organization that has a Hall of Fame quarterback who's being asked to do too much, where the whole thing is you drop back and be a hero. And they're like, no, let's give him a run game. Let's give him a play action game. And that's what they did for Elway. That's what they did for Steve Young. That's what they did for Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan was just dropping back and throwing to Julio Jones. And what Shanahan did was bring in Taylor Gabriel, Mohamed Sanu, Tevin Coleman, a supporting cast and a run game to keep things off balance. That's what they do well. But their drop back passing, I don't know. I mean, their ability to scout and develop quarterbacks, I don't know. I think you kind of give them one and trust them to give them the right supporting cast.
Look, someone brought up RG3, and they did. I mean, I don't think they actually wanted to draft RG3 because they picked Kirk Cousins in the 4th round. But
that was a Dan Snyder pick.
They did have that one great year for him, but that's not developing a quarterback.
No.
Having one good year with the quarterback and developing a quarterback are 2 totally different things. If you want to see development, look at what Brian Daboll has done with Josh Allen the last 3 years. Look at his growth from year 1 to year 2, and look at his growth from year 2 to year 3. That's developing a quarterback. Having a one-off good season with a quarterback is not the same as developing it. And it comes back to the 2017 draft. Look, Patrick Mahomes, we can say that was not a very obvious selection, though Bruce Arians, Sean Payton, and Andy Reid, 3 guys who are in Kyle's class, at least 2 of them in Peyton and Andy Reid are in Kyle's class as offensive play callers, identified Patrick Mahomes as the best player in that draft, not quarterback, player. Yes. Any person with eyes who watched Clemson football that year knew that, wow, Deshaun Watson is different. He is different. Mm-hmm. Look, I'm not saying I know anything about scouting quarterbacks at the level of Kyle. But what's disconcerting is when you hear the Super Bowl press conference and they ask him, what did you think of Patrick Mahomes before the draft? And he goes, well, I didn't look at him because I was so enamored with Kirk
Cousins.
Like, what?
What?
Shouldn't you be looking at the entire situation and at least considering the possibility that 2 of these guys, look, Kirk Cousins at his physical best is the 9th or 10th best quarterback in the NFL.
Maybe
him playing at his best.
Yes.
And he is really good when he's playing at his best. There's no doubt about that. Kyle is right on about that. But Mahomes and Watson, is not close.
Yeah. Sorry about talking over you right there. You're right.
It's worrisome because the entire thing with Kyle is that he sees the whole picture, right? Charlie Casserly talked about it in 2006. He asked the wide receivers coach, like 20-something-year-old Kyle Shanahan, who do I take, Mario Williams or Reggie Bush? And he saw the full picture and said, take Mario Williams.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you see the entire picture to consider and at least scout? Tell me that I liked Mahomes, but you know what? I thought Cousins would be better. That's a valid opinion to me. Okay, you didn't think Mahomes would be as good as Cousins in your offense, whatever. But at least you did your homework with him.
Yeah.
For you to say before the Super Bowl, well, I didn't really study him because I was so convinced on Kirk Cousins. This isn't getting Peyton Manning in his prime. No. This is Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. And he had enough time to study C.J. Beathard. So you were like, hey, don't show me the good quarterbacks. Just show me the guys who will be around after pick 100. Like, that's it.
Right.
Don't cut that corner. Right. Why don't you give yourself 15 minutes to have the Patrick Mahomes experience? Hey, here's the thing. Maybe he's not under oath. Maybe he did watch Patrick Mahomes and didn't like him. You ever think about that?
Possibly.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
You can't say that. But look, his best friend, who did his best friend say was the best player in the 2017 draft?
Well, first of all, tell everyone who's watching who his best friend is.
Or his best, Chris Sims, right? Chris Sims. I don't know if he's his best friend or what kind of.
No. They have each other's tattoos, each other's initials tattooed on their ankles. That's the truth.
Right. They're tight. He said that Patrick Mahomes was the best player in that draft. He also said that he doesn't look at C.J. Beathard and see the next Kirk Cousins after that draft. He didn't like C.J. Beathard.
Nope. Hey, I don't think Kyle's going to Chris Sims asking him his opinion. I think they're both very opinionated people who also are friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I just think it's worrisome that there were people near him or people he talks to about football, whether he uses their opinion or not, that said, you know what, Patrick Mahomes is really that. And he bluntly said before the Super Bowl that he still didn't take a look at it.
Yeah. Hey, how about Deshaun Watson? I mean, either one. Because it seems to me like especially if you have this level of offensive line that can't block anyone, you need a quarterback who can protect himself.
Look,
unless you have Peyton Manning.
Right, absolutely. Drew Brees in his prime.
Or Drew Brees, or Tom Brady in his prime. That's it.
Because like Jimmy at his best, Jimmy executes the offense at his best. Well, he's not even perfect at executing the offense. He's late sometimes. He misses reads sometimes. Well, if you're going to be an offensive executor, you got to be Peyton Manning, who's perfect.
Thank you.
Brady, who's perfect.
Thank you.
Brees, who's perfect.
Thank you. And that's why I was always kind of bullish on Nick Mullins, is I felt like he had the drive and brain to like perfect the mental part of the game. I don't know if he has the athleticism to actually pull it off. But with Jimmy, I'm like, I'm sorry. For you to be a high-level pocket passer, you need to be much more advanced with your mental game, because that's what made Peyton Manning. I'm sorry. I mean, he had a good arm too, but Peyton Manning was the most brilliant quarterback of all time and could dissect a defense before the play happened. That was what he did.
Agreed.